An uncharacteristically warm evening here in southwestern Connecticut, but it's nice and cold here inside of the Darien Ice House, and we are just about ready for some boys varsity ice hockey. Here tonight, Darien hosting Ridgefield on senior night, and we are just about ready to go here inside the Ice House. Dylan DeRiso alongside Jake Wilson. Jake, glad to have you on this evening, making your debut. And
sure.
Jake, we'll jump right into it here as Darien and Ridgefield recently have been having a pretty close history. They've had some tight battles. Why don't you talk about Ridgefield a little bit and what you've seen from them?
Yeah, like you mentioned, the first time Darien and Ridgefield went at it this year, it was a 2-3 overtime win for the Wave at Ridgefield. Obviously, the boys in blue and white will definitely remember last year's 1-0 loss to Ridgefield in the FCIAC semifinals. However, this year, Ridgefield, they're 7-10, but they're maintaining the number 10 ranking in the state. Started off the year very slow. Started off the year 2-4 before kind of finding their groove. But I've dropped 3 straight to pretty much the top 3 FCIAC opponents, being Fairfield Co-op, the New Canaan Rams, and the Greenwich Cardinals. It looks like they're going to try to avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Wave tonight.
And this is a win that Darien needs too, coming off of that loss against New Canaan. New Canaan, the Rams controlled that entire game the other night here last Saturday. So the Blue Wave are really going to have to step it up to try to get back up, get some momentum back on their side.
Agreed, and it's senior night here. So it looks like we'll be getting the all-senior starting lineup as expected. It'll be interesting, though, to see Coach Bud starts in net. Haggerty got the start against New Canaan, a 4-1 blunder for him, although he's slightly edged Quinn Creppin on the stat sheet, but it'll be interesting to see who Coach Bud goes with tonight.
He's been switching them back and forth all season long, but, you know, as they get closer to playoff time, that's when you sort of want to select a starting goaltender. You want to solidify your lines. You want to find the players that are working best together, figure out that team chemistry, because come playoffs, no one's messing around.
Definitely agree. To that point, Coach Bud, in a Game Time article, was talking about how, you know, Saturday was a rough game for the Wave, but like he said in his quote, he'd rather have a game like that in February than in March. The Wave's really got to find their groove with only 2 regular season games remaining before the playoffs. They do not want to suffer an FCIAC playoff or state playoff blunder like they did last year.
Certainly not. Speaking of those games, they will get a rematch against Notre Dame West Haven. That'll be up in West Haven, where they will take on the Green Knights after being defeated here at the Ice House earlier this season by them. The Green Knights, they've had Darien's number for a long time. So the Blue Wave will have to chase them down, but for now they need to deal with Ridgefield. The Tigers, as you mentioned, Jake, 7-10 on the season, 3-6 in the FCIAC. They're still looking to solidify some better FCIAC placement as well as state placement possibility. We'll see, though, if the Blue Wave can put up some higher numbers on Ridgefield this time around. That 3-2 overtime win you mentioned, but the shutout still haunting them from last year's FCIAC semifinal. We're going to go down to the ice now for the player introductions as well as the national anthem. we are ready to go here from the Ice House. Darien, as we mentioned, bringing out the all-senior starting lineup. We'll go through that starting lineup. Tommy Bronca, Bobby Whitaker, Chris Davis, Asa Beach, and Grafton Ely. Jake, why don't you walk us through the Ridgefield starting lineup real quick? What do we see there as far as grades go?
Yeah, we got at forward, you have Luke Pereira, who's a junior, Angelo Similello, who is a sophomore, also forward, and then Axel Simonson, who'll be your defenseman. He's a senior. And Ryan Corsinelli, who's a forward. He's a junior. Sean Rigby, who will be your second defenseman, who's also a junior. And in net, their so far outstanding goaltender, Henry Ertl, who's a senior.
A lot of youth for this Ridgefield team. Darien bringing a lot of youth as well. We might not see it on the starting lineups, but we sure can see it on the roster. A team loaded up with juniors and sophomores, as well as freshmen, and Coach Mac Budd's been utilizing them all season long, and I'm sure that's a trend we'll continue to see tonight. Grafton Ely, captain, hyping up the boys around the net.
Definitely.
The Wave are ready to go. Ely, the senior, quick shout out to him. A Division I lacrosse commit, Mercer University down in Macon, Georgia.
Looking to bounce back after
tough loss.
Friday night game.
North Carolina this past weekend. They'll get it going
for sure. You also got Asa Beach, the other captain, headed off to St. Lawrence University.
Played lacrosse
one of the
well.
top D3 programs. Also an outstanding hockey program there.
Certainly,
having a better year.
They're one of the teams that was grandfathered into that, being Division I, as well as having the rest of their other sports Division III. Let's get to Darien hockey, though. Ely will possess the puck behind the net, turns it back up the other way to Chris Davis. The Wave will go on their first rush of the evening. Ridgefield not slow to get back on defense, though. They'll turn the puck the other way. It's Rigby, excuse me. Darien winning it back, shot, saved to the side by Ertl. Now behind the net, Bronca looking to stuff it around. Davis skating.
It's like Whitaker occupying the crease. Bronca falls.
Davis to Ely. He'll come off his post. Trying to play the puck. A little back and forth. Ridgefield gets it out. Now the Tigers in transition the other way. It's backhander from Carnicelli. They'll go for a full change. Dump and chase. Darien's first to it. Asa Beach now. They'll look up. Tyler Rakeen. That one gets by him. Ridgefield the other way.
Darien's got the second line coming on. Rakeen, Lancaster, and New Rocky.
Two seniors there, two first-year seniors mentioned in the past. Naraki and Rakeen both played for Connecticut Junior Rangers prior to this season. They decided to come out play for the Wave, and they've certainly had a large impact on the ice. And then Elliot Lancaster, the veteran junior for this Darien hockey team. Puck gets left back. Ely and Beach still on the ice for the Wave. Coming towards the middle, that one just by Crepin. He made the save on it. It was sliding across the crease. Darien lucky. Ridgefield had no one backside. Now up the boards. Rakeen goes down. He's going to come out with it.
Persinger and Tarrant.
Double sophomore line.
Fairly productive line, though. 2 and 3 points between them, respectively.
Tarrant, the returner, the sophomore. He was on varsity last year as a freshman. Persinger, on the other hand, first-year sophomore. Here's Samame. Gavin Samame coming around the net on his backhand, pressured. He'll leave it out for Mariska. Jack Mariska.
Mariska having a pretty outstanding freshman year. 13 points, 7 goals, 6 assists.
Second on the team in goals, if I'm not mistaken. Tied with Tyler Rakeen, I believe, who also has 7. Now a shot. That one hits off of Samame. Puck left back behind the net. Turned up ice by the Tigers. There's Tarrant, though. He'll dump it back in the other way. Schwind hustling down to the corner.
Looks
He's
like
the first one
Ridgefield
to it.
on the chase, but they're able to recover, it looks like. That cutter's coming down.
They were trying to, Ridgefield was getting a change. Schwind stayed on the ice for the Wave. Helped generate a little bit, but nothing comes out of it. Darien will have to restart.
We've got both Elys on the ice right now.
Little Ely combination.
Oh, always dangerous.
I don't think we've seen an Ely sandwich, though, since the first game of Darien's season. I forget.
Maybe that's a senior night. Little
possibility.
Token for them, for the parents.
Sent back into the zone. Behind the net, coming up to play it is Simoniello. Lee Crody on the ice for the Wave. Now across the middle here, Simoniello, he loses it. Looks to the far side. McNicholas back over. Simoniello. Ely off the boards and out. That'll bounce. They'll call that out of play. Bounced off the padding alongside the penalty box. We'll get a whistle. Yeah,
interesting, Dylan. We can see now Coach Bud decided to give Quinn Kreppen the start. Wondering if it's him going with his alternate goalies or, you know, the Saturday 4-1 loss. That's something to play into his decision. I guess only time will tell.
We'll see what he decides to do come playoff time.
That'll definitely be an interesting storyline to follow.
It's been a question all year. Scrimmages in the beginning. Darien was wondering who was going to start at goalie and still haven't figured that out. Usually something teams figure out by February, but
looks like they're following the plan the Boston Bruins seem to be doing. It seems to be working pretty well for the Bruins, though, so maybe Coach Bud's a fan.
Oh, yeah. Will be one of the best teams of all time in the NHL.
Bronca the wave in the 2-on-2.
Coming out with it. Looks far side to Beach, who's coming up offensively. Still hunting for that first career goal. I mentioned it almost every game.
Got a feeling it'll come tonight. If there's a night for it to come, it's got to be tonight.
We'd love to see it happen here at the Ice House.
Looks like Kreppen, if I'm not mistaken, his third save of the night. Looks like Ridgefield definitely dominated offensively to start the game. Darien's got to pick it up. You don't remember last time, just about 2 weeks ago when Darien played Fairfield Co-op on a Wednesday night. Very slow start to the Wave. Only ended up winning 1-0 against a significantly lesser team. They can't have that same type of slow start tonight against Ridgefield.
No, they cannot. Ridgefield, their record is quite deceiving, as their offense is pretty powerful as long.
Ooh, big collision.
Beach goes down.
And
cuts me off. Here's a breakaway chance. Ridgefield coming down. Gavin White, the shot save by Kreppen.
Got that off his right blocker.
Schwind with it behind the net.
Impressive, stay poised.
That's a confidence booster for the junior goaltender. This one's off the skate of Davis. He repossesses. Now Chris Davis coming up, looks towards the middle. Shot puck's loose in front. Up top with Asa Beach. He'll go for the one more to Charlie Schwind. Schwind skating.
Charlie Schwind, great stick from him. Great shooter as well.
Puck moving here from Darien, looking like they're on a power play almost. As here's another shot. White trying to come out with it.
Looks like the ice is extra slippery tonight.
Beach steps up. One more pass to Schwind. Schwind fires a wrister up and over. Beach there to recover it on the far boards.
Darien looking to find their groove offensively here.
Something they've been looking to do for a few games now. They were able to put up big numbers on Greenwich, but that was kind of expected. Darien's defeated Greenwich pretty handily twice this season, so they've been trying to pick up their offense against more highly touted teams.
Yeah, Ridgefield only scoring 2 goals in their last 3 games, so they'll be in the same boat trying to find an offensive groove just before the playoffs.
Risco will go back for this one. Skated up, finds Schwind. That one, it's loose from Schwind. Ridgefield sends it in. Ely coming around behind.
Dangerous.
He'll have to race Luke Pereira to the puck. Almost said to the ball. Ely skating. Schwind. Puck rolling all the way around the boards. Lancaster going back for it. He's beat to it. There's Marisco. Ely calling for it. Down a shot. Just wide. Charlie Schwind coming around. Bronca.
It looks like Ridgefield's trying to set the physical tone early, and I'd say that they've definitely achieved that.
They're doing a good job. We saw Asa Beach go down. We just saw Tommy Bronca go down the corner. Here's Ridgefield the other way once again. It's Carnicelli, a shot saved by Kreppen.
Looks like Ely might have gotten a stick on that before the shot got off.
Hoping to make that one more routine, and he'll glove that one up.
Good start for Kreppen.
Certainly.
It's probably around 6 saves now. Ridgefield's a few breakaways, a little bit of sloppy defense by Darien, but Darien's biggest problem has been converting in the offensive end. You feel like every game they have at least 3 to 4 chances a period, but they just struggle to convert.
And struggling to possess is something that's come with that. We've seen Darien, it happened a lot last last Saturday against New Canaan. A lot of rushes, not a lot of possessing for the Wave. In turn, they would get just a few shots here and there. New Canaan dominated in shots in that game, and when you're dominating in shots, you can only be dominating in scoring. That's what we saw.
Definitely.
Here's Ridgefield. Some yellow.
Ridgefield got some fresh legs.
Cuts across. Crody stopped him. Here's a shot. Save with the stick. Persinger. It's Matt Fish. Matthew Fisher skating.
Senior.
Fisher coming across on his backhand. Doing the work himself.
Fisher also seeking his first goal tonight.
Shot wide over the net. Gardner really comes down to make a play on it. Ridgefield's able to clear the zone. That'll be good. They'll get a full change, almost. Rakeen looking for the one touch to Naraki. That one was ahead of him.
Their defense to the bench. Get some fresh legs out there in their first line with Beach and Ely.
Double senior.
It is.
Back again. Ely will skate for this one. Everett Greenwood, in pursuit of him. Lancaster with the puck. Gets it out. Greenwood was on top of him. Here's Naraki. Jonathan Naraki with the old dump and chase. Rakeen will go down for it. Ridgefield first to it. Sean Rigby. Here's a shot from Ely high up into the glove.
Great glove save there.
Henry Ertl proved to be a tough goalie to beat last year.
You know, Ridgefield's a tough team. You know, they've definitely are winning the physical battle so far. Hopefully they're not one of those teams that just has Darien's number and gets him again.
Up with Ely. Ely trying to fire off a wrister. He couldn't. And here's Ridgefield headed the other way. Good lift from Ely. Some lacrosse skills in use right there. Whistle blown.
Beach.
Is that going to be
something?
Not sure what Ace is not happy about. He'll head off to the bench, though, and we'll get a neutral zone face-off.
We got the sophomore line out there on defense. Got Taryn and Persinger. Third line for the forwards. Freshman, sophomore, junior.
Charlie Schwind up to Gavin Samame. Samame, the sophomore. He's been a hustler this season. He's been working his way, earning some more time. We saw him get in a bunch against New Canaan. Even as time ran out in that game, he was still giving it all he had despite the lopsided result. Ridgefield back into the zone, a wrister flying near the net, but not close enough for Kreppen to make a play. Here's another shot chance.
Sloppy pass there by Persinger. Ooh, big hit on the left side by Mariska.
Not often we see Mariska laying out a body. Usually he's been taking them, as it didn't take long for teams to adjust to small Jack Mariska. They figured out to play the body, but he's reacting just fine, laying out some hits of his own, and he seemed to pick up his game a little bit recently. He did score Darien's lone goal against the Rams. George Persinger. Bobby Whitaker cuts back, looking for a pass as Bronca gets sandwiched. Chris Davis, a shot off the bar, and Bronca finishes it off. We'll see who they credit it to, but Chris Davis, he had the bar down. I don't know if it crossed the line, but
yeah, we got to get back to the replay for that one. That, like the top right corner, ready on post out.
Let's get the money view here from behind. Oh, double bar. Ertl failed to get on top of it. Bronca finished it off, and that's a big one for the Wave to start. Nice confidence booster, putting in a first period goal. And against this Ridgefield team, if you can get up offensively, all you have to do is really handle the defense, because Ridgefield's offense, I wouldn't say as strong as their defense.
Yeah, as I previously mentioned, only 2 goals scored in the last 3 games for Ridgefield. That's compared to 12 goals allowed. Not a statistic you want to hold, especially this late in the year.
Up off the glass. Ely back in off the glass. Picked up behind by Rigby. Back to Ely. Ely, a wrist shot. blocker save by Ertl. Lee Crody trying to get in on the physical game. He goes down, gets back up, grabs the puck, looks over, finds Troy. James Troy skating up to Gardner Ely. Ely has to handle the bouncing puck, leaves the zone.
Clear it down the ice.
Now this will go back. Ely will chase it down, and Kreppen makes the safe play. He'll ice that. 4:04 to go. First period. The clock's still running. They'll have to fix that.
So you get the ice here. That's going to be a Ridgefield face-off in their end.
Lancaster wins the face-off out to himself, pushes it up to Rakeen. Tyler Rakeen, high chip into the zone, out of play. That one a little too high.
Too much juice on that one for Rakeen. Rakeen and Naraki, like you said, coming over to Darien for their first year from a private organization. Rakeen got 10 points in the year, Naraki also with 10, so they've definitely brought some production for their senior year here at Darien. Happy to see that they decided to join the wave.
Senior day here, as we mentioned. Darien lost 12 seniors last senior day a year ago. So they certainly had a lot of holes to replace. There was a lot of questioning about this Darien team, how they would look offensively. They were returning a lot of defensive players, but they've certainly filled those gaps with Rakeen Naraki. They've moved up Charlie Schwinn to the offense.
Yeah, Coach Bud's really done a great job with developing these young players. You know, you see young guys like you mentioned, Tarrant, Schwind, even, you know, Mariska really early in the year, really getting significant time that'll definitely pay off later in their career, and Coach Bud will thank himself later for that when they're seniors and juniors.
So it'll be skated up by Greenwood. Excuse me. Jankowski is puck bouncing around in the middle of the ice, picked up by Asa Beach. Beach will skate, chip it up and over. Schwinn will go on the chase. Icing calls
there. Darien going to get a change defensively as Lancaster to left. That person going to come in.
2:57 to go in period one. Tommy Bronco with the lone goal for the Wave. So face-off was one back to Kreppen, who passed it off to the side. Puck leaves the zone. Smame gets a touch on it. Ridgefield picks it up. Rigby around and behind. On the far side is Carnicelli, but George Persinger was the first one to the puck. Puck loose across the middle, trying to get a shot off.
Gardner really get the deflection there. Darien allowing Ridgefield to get shots off their stick, but quite a few have been deflected before they got to Kreppen.
Not a lot of solid shots, even on the two breakaways.
Ridgefield definitely struggling in their shooting thus far. Starting to wonder if that's a trend on the year. Darien much more accurate.
The bad shooting, though, in turn can help out Quinn Kreppen with some early game confidence, build it up, get a few saves, warm up the pads.
Definitely, you know, running the two goalie system, you know, it's hard. You can, you know, let in, you know, have a shutout and then not play for another week. So, you know, it's really hard to keep consistency and confidence with some extracurriculars going on.
Darien almost getting into it.
Nothing new.
With Alex Irving. All the seniors are back on the ice. They were ready to defend their goalie, Quinn Kreppen, as Irving came down, tried to get one more touch on that puck before he covered it up. Asa Beach had a few words, so did Tommy Bronca.
It's like Ridgefield got their second line on the ice here.
This one up, gets past Bronca, now across the middle, a chance with McNicholas, and it's taken away. Beach pushed it out of the zone. This one right back down to Kreppen. Been throwing the puck at the net a lot from outside the zone.
That's what I was about to say. It really looks like Ridgefield, you're just trying to, you know, do a classic dump and chase most of the time. Doesn't seem like they have a lot of confidence in their ability to maintain the puck in the neutral zone. Take here.
The best way to counter that.
Snatched up by Kreppen.
More extracurriculars. Beach and Bronca teaming up on Irving. .125 to go in the first period of play. Along the boards, trying to fire off a quick shot, hits the bottom of the net. This one ripped around by Rakeen. There's Iraqi hustling. He got ahead of the puck though. Ridgefield shot across the middle.
And here we go in front once again. Looks like Ely's going to get into it with White. Asa Beach getting into it with Greenwood. The refs trying to get under control. Looks like they're sending it to the base of the bench.
All the seniors chatting it up out there. Ely and Beach laughing it off. This one back to Ely. Up, one got away from Rakeen. Back in the zone twice. Here's Grafton Ely coming up on offense. Ely cuts across, trying to do work himself.
We're going to trip there. No call from the referees.
I'd say a pretty good no call situation there. Wasn't any blatant stick use.
Ridgefield dumping it once again. Look at the ice.
We'll see if Darien can try to put one more on here before the end of the period. Ridgefield seems like the puck has been down in the Darien end most of the time. We haven't seen much possessing from Ridgefield. A lot of quick shots and covers. Puck's left the zone. They've dumped it back in. Nothing has really happened for the Tigers, though.
Tigers definitely got more shots, but terrible selection.
Here's a shot. Russell Tarrant saved by Ertl.
Solid take from the sophomore.
Darien, though they haven't had the puck on the Ridgefield end as much, has certainly been possessing it more, though, which is something that they definitely would like to see after their recent performances.
Ridgefield going to stack that right side. 3 players. It's going to be intercepted.
So go all the way around. Looking for Pereira on the far side. Tarrant was the first to it. Icing called, 7.3 seconds to go. Maybe Ridgefield can get a quick strike before the first intermission.
So we get that senior line back at it for the Wave.
4 out of 5. Rakeen to Rocky Beach, Ely. Lancaster to take the draw for Darien. Angelo Simoniello, the sophomore.
Officials aren't happy about something.
Not sure what's being said. That was a 6th man on the ice, but the way the officials went at it seemed a little weird.
Looked a little disciplinary.
This one back to Beach. It'll go all the way around. 2 seconds. One more shot wide of the net. Brings us to the end of the first period. Beach getting into it afterwards with Simoniello, but 1-0 Darien. Tommy Branca scoring the lone goal, as I mentioned. We'll be back in just a few moments on the DAF Media Network to discuss.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all of this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and they offered to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the center oval and upper oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there. As it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Back here live for the second period of play at the Darien Ice House. The Blue Wave leading Ridgefield Tigers 1-0. This boys varsity ice hockey matchup here on the DAF Media Network. Dylan DeRiso, Jake Wilson. Jake, what did you see in that first period that you liked from both sides?
Yeah, like I mentioned a few times for Ridgefield, although they're down 1-0, definitely playing more physical, and it seems that they're sticking to their game plan, which is just keep it in the Darien end. Keep it in their end and just try to possess the puck underneath the blue line rather than in the neutral zone. Darien, on the other hand, definitely being much more efficient on offense than we've seen in past games, while the defense has also got on their stick on a lot of shots. Hopefully that continues for them this period.
Here's a rush. Carnicelli coming down. Ely quick to it. Puck gets loose. Beach retrieves it behind the net. Looking up for Bronca. Kept in by Ridgefield. Puck across the middle. Nobody home to finish it off.
Bronca trying to
lay a hit in open ice.
Lay a hit on Simiello, but to no avail.
Cross by Naraki. Here goes Idone. Out for Greenwood. Greenwood skating on his backhand.
Ely, one of those seniors that got pretty significant time early in his career as a sophomore and junior. Definitely paying off for him this senior year. Pretty flawless thus far.
He's a player that you can always trust to prevent any form of transitional rushes coming from the other team. Good communicator. We can see that transferring on all sports. He loves to talk. He's got a big mouth, I have to say, in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way. Darien with a younger line on the ice now. Terrence Persinger on defense. Mariska, Samame, Schwinn. Take it back the other way. Here's Charlie Schwinn. Schwinn and Mariska. Mariska trying to split the middle there.
Ridgefield looking like they're just trying to swarm whoever's got the puck for Darien. Looks like they'd run something similar to a zone defense, but
it's working for them. It is nonetheless. We saw Northwest Catholic running a similar defense when Notre Dame West Haven running a similar defense. We'll get a shot up and over.
It's not a bad take. It might be the best shot Ridgefield's had so far.
Just got to keep it down. As I was saying, though, Notre Dame West Haven running a similar defense every time Darien would come down on some form of rush. They would just close in on the middle, have multiple forwards back to help out defensively and swarm the puck, and it really prevented Darien from having any possessions be formed from their transition. The slap shot goes wide of the net, broken stick down on the ice. Not sure whose it was. Got off the ice quick enough.
Quite a while.
Out along the boards. Escapes the zone, chased back.
See if Ridgefield dumps it back in like they've been doing so far. There we go, chip down to the left corner.
Like clockwork. Persinger up the boards, kept in. Simonson back behind. Simiello. For Carnicelli. Matthew Fisher dangling his way up ice. Finds James Troy. Troy jump and chase. Lee Crody gets some action down on the puck. Ely keeps it in.
You know, what I'm liking about Ridgefield so far is it seems that they're staying consistent with their game plan.
Absolutely.
It seems as if they're confident in it. Let's see if it'll pay off for them here in the second period.
Crody stepped up, wanted to get a shot off. He lost the puck. Gardner Ely has to go back for it. Gardner and Grafton Ely both back on the ice now. Grafton's been playing with Gardner, and he's been playing with Asa Beach tonight, so it seems Mac Bud might be going with a 5 defenseman rotation, double shifting Grafton, and then having that George Persinger, Russell Tarrant line going as well.
Looks like it, definitely. We're seeing really the first. I mean, I think we've seen all 4 forward lines, mainly numbers 1, 2, and 3, but we've also seen senior Matt Fisher getting some action as well as Lee Crody. You know, we were just talking about how it's very interesting that Coach Bud does run a real 4-line rotation, which you really don't see from a lot of high school teams. It definitely pays off later when he can develop these players early, but you know, it's worked for him. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's one of the reasons Darien stays consistently at the top of the FCIAC and the state. They always have more players coming in to fill the roles. And a lot of teams you'll see, they'll have the same players on the ice. Even Ridgefield right now, it's the same first two lines have been getting on the ice. Haven't really seen the third line very much. Darien, though,
Definitely.
the fourth line has already gotten 3 shifts, I believe, at this point in the game. So
At least.
Certainly a positive with running 4 lines. A negative would be, though, got to be a little more worried with those players on the ice not being able to defend as well. We saw it happen against New Canaan. We've seen it happen against a few teams this year. The younger guys will get on the ice, make some characteristic mistakes, and hasn't paid off in that way. But I would say in the long term, when you're looking to build a championship-winning team, it certainly helps them out. Tarrant will have to go after it.
Chipped in.
Shot back, grabbed out of the air by Crepin. We'll have a face-off down in the Darien end. Ely and Beach.
Looks like Darien's leading in the shots category, 10-8. Got on a few offs thus far this period.
That shot count favoring Darien. I'm a little surprised by that, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I remember it's shots on goal. You know, Ridgefield's definitely had a lot more shots off the stick, but like we mentioned in the first period, Darien's defense did a great job of getting sticks in lanes, as well as pressing out on their forwards, as well as defensemen up by the blue line.
Persinger. Shot. Gardner Ely, his shot was hit off 2 or 3 sticks on its way to the net. Persinger will send it down for Lancaster.
Yeah, that
Lancaster
shot from Ely might have had a chance. Rocky deflected it a little off its target. It would be close, but they might have had a chance there.
Persinger with it. He'll skate, pass off the boards to Lancaster, no ice. Puck got deflected. Matthew Fisher hustling down. Firing a hard pass across to Gardner Ely. He's got to work to keep that one in the zone. Fisher trying to keep it in on his side. Unsuccessful. Ridgefield gets it down for a dump and chase. Idone on his way. Down into the zone. Darien zone that is around to Matthew Fisher again. Fisher will saucer pass over. Lee Crody. Tommy Bronca dumps it in.
Chased by Crody.
Crody gets on top of it. Turned the other way by Dankowski, though.
Looks like Crody joining the first forward line for the shift.
Crody with a great backhander, but fortunately doesn't keep the puck on sides. Darien back on the attack, trying to get the forecheck going.
You got Tarrant and Ely back on defense together. Not a combination you see often. Seems like Coach Bud's definitely going with that 5 defenseman rotation you alluded to earlier. Chance for Darien here.
Still more and more shots. Net comes off.
Here we go. Extracurriculars in front again. Tommy Bronca leading the show.
It's like he might have fallen on the goalie, and then
Ertl is not happy.
Things always escalate from there.
He's going to take a moment to let off some steam on the right side. Darien only going to change the young group coming in. Ridgefield keeping their core on the ice.
Off-topic question. You think that orange face mask that Henry Ertl sports gets a little distracting sometimes?
It might even help him see the puck. It's a black puck. It might help him see it.
It's true.
Although you don't see many goaltenders sporting the black mask.
Yeah, usually they're
Probably
silver or white.
Reason. Can't say I've ever seen an orange mask, though.
I have not personally. Down, trying to get a shot off was Irving. He failed to do so. Grafton Ely up the other way off the boards. That'll roll all the way down, almost making its way to Charlie Schwind. Instead, will be out of play. And we'll have a face-off over towards the Ridgefield side. Not sure exactly where. I believe in the neutral zone.
Both teams going to change here. Still 1-0 at this point of the period. Darien definitely winning this period. Definitely much more possession time. Ridgefield still playing with that same game plan we were talking about earlier, but just really this game's been characterized for them by sloppy passes so far, weak shots. Although Ertl stayed strong with some fairly strong takes from the Darien forwards.
At this point, if you're Ridgefield, you're seeing how many shots you've gotten off and how little of those shots have gotten on net, and you sort of say, try to get them on net more. Maybe if it's not as fast of a shot, just get the puck bouncing around in front, because they're a physical team. They're a scrappy team, as you mentioned earlier. And you can always get the garbage goals as that one hits off of Krepping, goes off to the side.
Yeah, Coach Gallagher's got to make some changes here if this game follows the same storyline it has so far at the end of the second period.
Rakeen coming down to Rocky towards the middle, ahead of him, and puck goes wide, hits off the far boards.
Big collision on the right
Lancaster gets hit with a big hip check.
Simoniello, solid take. Looks like Lancaster dropped a stick.
It's all the way around Darien's side. Physicality increasing at this point. We're seeing a lot of hits on all sides of the ice. Whistle blown.
We got a stoppage.
That'll be Rakeen going into the box, as well as, I believe that's Simoniello.
Call there.
Be offsetting penalties, I think.
Yeah, it looks like we'll still stay 5-5.
6:29 to go in the second period. No goals yet. 1-0 still Darien.
When you got offsetting penalties and we're not even halfway, or we're just about halfway through the game, there's definitely a significant amount of extracurriculars going on the ice. If only we had someone in the box this game to give us some insight into that.
Whitaker across. Oh, a shot.
Chance for Ely. He had the whole right side of the net. Dinged it off the right post.
Now around behind. Up off the boards. Stepping up.
That's as good of a look as you're going to get in hockey. Ely was coming down. It came off a stick. It looks like a little bit off the front.
He'll want that one back for sure. Ref helping to keep the puck in the zone. Davis towards the middle to Bronca. Bronca tries to get a shot off. It was blocked by Dankowski. Bronca around with it. Cuts back again. Looking towards the middle, blocked.
Dankowski blocking it again.
Bronca still around the net. Chris Davis looking in front.
Another look.
Chance for Whitaker. Got caught in the mix. There were two players on him, and Whitaker couldn't really handle the puck much. Said we'll get an icing. 5:28 to go in the second period.
Looks like Darien ran a similar look as that Ely chance. I believe it was Whitaker trying to get across to Schwind, who was cutting down the middle for that look. Dangerous.
We've seen it pay off for them before.
Ridgefield's got to buckle down here.
Darien loves those passes from behind the net. Coming up towards the middle, quick finish. Hard for the goalie to track. Seems that behind the net is where Darien often possesses the puck. Ridgefield stepping up, saved by Kreppin.
Kreppin standing strong again. You see a solid amount of shots tonight.
Around behind, Asa Beach up to it. Schwind deflection, slap shot chance.
Poor shot.
Blocked. Puck leaves the zone. All over the place, ends up on Kreppin. He ices it. 4:55.
I mean, this has got to be a season high of ices so far. I feel like every minute we're seeing an ice.
Kreppin's been forced to cover that puck a lot.
It's interesting, Darien uses Ridgefield, a ranked team, for their senior day. Typically, teams tend to opt for a weaker opponent, but if you look at Darien's schedule, there's really not that many weaker opponents to pick. The FCIAC's got a deep pool this year, as well as the whole state. Seems like every other week, or really every other game, Darien's playing a
tough team,
real viable opponent.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Ridgefield was Darien's senior day last year.
I believe you're correct on that. I think Darien got the win in that one, though.
They did, and then when they got the rematch in the FCIAC semifinals, it was a whole different story. We're seeing a different story now as Ridgefield's the team that's failing to score. Darien holding up solid defensively. Elliott Lancaster possessing the puck. Behind shot and a goal from Jonathan Naraki, the first-year senior. Naraki, that's his 6th on the year, his 11th point. The Blue Wave go up 2 goals with 4:33 to go in the second period.
Great to see that from a senior here on senior night. Darien has had a lot of chances in front this period. Great to see one fall.
Wonder if you can credit Lancaster with that assist. He sort of sent one towards the middle, hit off the side of the goal, bounced up Lang to Naraki, excuse me, and he finished that one off no problem.
Yeah, Ertl cannot be happy with his defense right now.
Off the boards, into the zone, and 2-goal lead is a lot bigger than a 1-goal lead, especially as you sort of head to the end of the second period here.
Just about to mention that for those of you joining us more recently, Darien and Ridgefield did play on January 21st. Darien won that game 3-2 in overtime. Looks like this game is going to follow a slightly different trend as Darien's got another chance up here from the Bronco, lose the puck.
Bobby Whitaker backhand pass down to the corner. So go all the way around. Ely with it. He'll skate as Chris Davis leaves the zone. Gets back on sides. Ridgefield with a second behind to breathe. Doesn't last long. Matthew Fisher came out to forecheck. He tripped on the back of the net. Ridgefield headed the other way, and it seems like, as always, the rush is led by Carnicelli. Beach one-hand poke out to Lancaster. Lancaster didn't get all of it. Repossessed the puck. Taken away again, this time by Everett Greenwood. Greenwood, a pass across the backside, high and over the net. Kreppen was reaching for it with his glove. Darien will turn it up the other way. Beach skating down. Steps up, wrist shot, saved by Ertl. Love to see an Asa Beach goal tonight.
Really hoping one of those would fall. I'm sure if Darien gets a big enough lead, Coach Bud will maybe sign up just for him.
Tarrant, Persinger. Persinger loses it off the Schwinn.
The younger line back in. Mariska, Lancaster, Schwinn, Persinger, and Tarrant. No ice here.
Persinger will go back to retrieve this one. Mariska possessing up to Schwinn. That's a great look. Schwinn coming across, 2-on-2 situation. Make that 3-on-2 as Tarrant came off his defensive post to help out offensively. Got a shot off. It was wide and off the glass. Chipped up and over. Tarrant back on it again, though. Right back to his spot as Samame's on the ice. Here's the hustler. The high shot off the crossbar.
Oh.
A beautiful take from Gavin Samame. Now Ridgefield not hesitating, heading the other way. Quick shot saved by Kreppen. And now we get a chance to reflect on that Gavin Samame opportunity that hit the crossbar, then ended up under Ertl and slipped away.
Looks like he went bar down there.
He indeed did.
Just unlucky deflection. Almost bounced off the back of Ertl, though, to get back in the net, but
another centimeter, and that puck might have been good.
Yeah, well, Ertl went for it with his glove. Missed by a few inches. Dangerous.
2:03 to go. The second period, 2-0 lead for the Wave.
Ridgefield player was just stick.
Gardner Ely with a pass up, gets intercepted by Carnicelli.
Repossessed by Bronco. Drop down.
Whitaker one hand on it. He'll be the first to it, and it's Stankowski. Buff deflected, Chris Davis. Into the zone. Skating around, getting up down the middle. That'll be an easy icing call for the referees. 1:25 to go in the second period of play. Darien seemingly with all the momentum now. Ridgefield, they were playing very physical earlier in this period. It seemed to have cooled down a bit as Darien was starting to hit back a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if you're looking at Ridgefield's recent games, though, you know, 2-0's fairly close game for them. Be interesting to see. Well, like you said, the physicality's definitely slowed down. You start to wonder if Ridgefield's losing a little bit of heart, but you know they get to go to the locker room at the end of this period, regroup. Hopefully, Coach Gallagher picks up a new game plan. Gets a good hockey here in the third period.
Skating down the middle, offsides called. Gavin White couldn't get back in time. 1:07 to go.
Solid senior day crowd here at the Ice House.
Kept in the zone. Beach around. Off the boards. Kept in by Ridgefield. They could definitely use a goal here as we begin to close the second period of play. Darien, as we've said all season, seems to pick up their game a little bit in the third period. They score a lot of their goals in that third period of play. This one's deflected up and over. Off the glass and into the zone.
25 to play here.
Lancaster.
Ridgefield wants to shave one off the board. They got to go fast.
Stopped by Lancaster, turned the other way by Reina. Reina coming across, deflected off the skate of Beach.
A little bit in the back there. No call, though.
Let him play for the last 5 seconds. Around, can Ridgefield stick something? Doesn't look like it.
Last shot here.
Blocked. End of the second period, 2-0 our score. Darien with 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and it's all wave at the moment. Ridgefield unable to generate much offense. We'll talk about it more when we get back in a few moments on the DAF Media Network.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and they offered to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the 2nd school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Back here live on the DAF Media Network for the third and final period of play here on senior night at the Darien Ice House. Dylan DeRiso, Jake Wilson. 2-0 our score in favor of the Blue Wave. Jonathan Araki scoring the most recent goal courtesy of Elliot Lancaster on the assist from behind the net. So we did credit it to him after all. But 2-0, Jake. No goals yet for the Tigers. What do they need to do here in the third period?
Yeah.
Chris Davis.
There we go.
A shot and a goal.
That was quick.
The leading goal scorer for the Blue Wave. That's his 10th on the season.
Snipe from Davis.
Quick strike, 3-0, and just like that, Darien is pulling away.
Yeah, what I was going to say, right, pretty ironic, I was going to say it right before he scored. Ridgefield's really got to buckle down on defense. I think they're playing way too aggressive. Really playing a style of doubling the puck. I think they just know that Darien's offense is going to overpower their defense. That's what they were doing earlier. But I think at this point, especially down 3-0 now, they've got to abandon that system. And also, they've got to become more confident in possessing the puck in the neutral zone. It's very difficult to win a dump and chase and then let one guy do it all himself and go to the goal. They've really got to start possessing in the neutral zone, start possessing within the blue line, around the blue line, try to get some shots to fall. Kreppen been pretty good so far. He hasn't seen many chances, but he's playing solid.
Certainly, George Persinger throwing that one all the way down, ends up in Ertl's glove. He leaves it out.
I like that play by the goalie to avoid.
Lancaster chance in front with Naraki wanted his second. Persinger slap shot, gloved by Ertl. Now with 3-0, nice cushion for the Wave. Might be seeing them reach into their depth a little more. Maybe try to draw things up for some seniors, possibly Asa Beach.
Yeah, we're looking at hoping Asa Beach definitely gets a take. Let's get a look at Matthew Fisher, George Biolsi. Love to see those guys out on the ice.
Top with Tarrant.
Looks like that younger defensive line is out on the ice.
Yep, Persinger and Tarrant. That's line 2 for the defense. Line 3 consists of Grafton, Ely, and Gardner Ely. Line 1, as we've mentioned, Grafton on that one too with Asa Beach.
Looks like we have that second forward line out there. 2 seniors and a junior.
Puck almost stays in the zone. Darien quick to repossess. Rocky.
Darien's going to need a wholesale change here. Ely and Ely on the defensive end. Schwind, Mariska, Samame. Ridgefield with a chance. Big hit.
Good team effort. Team defensive effort. Ridgefield comes up to play this puck.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Gavin Samame, the sophomore, really burst onto the scene, looking like one of the top players in his class. 2 goals and an assist on the air. Nothing crazy on the stat sheet, but really a gritty player. Known to he'll put his body on the line for the team.
Absolutely. Ely comes to play this one. Schwind. Getting across, puck in the middle. Mariska tries to get a shot.
Dumped out by Pereira. Just
Gardner
3-3.
Around behind the net with Schwind. Chuck Schwind leaves it back towards the middle. Nobody was there to pick it up, though, and Ridgefield not quite able to clear the zone. Mariska, laying a body once again. Seen him with a lot more body checks tonight than we have in any of the recent Darien games. Becoming a lot more physical with his game. Gets more comfortable, obviously, just a freshman. But he certainly played a role for this Darien team as Blue Wave have to get back on sides. Ridgefield repossesses. Coming down again was Carnicelli. Outside with Greenwood. Lee Crody intercepts the pass, looks up to James Troy. He wanted that one badly. Back behind is Persinger. Over to Matthew Fisher, a little toe drag across. Lee Crody. Chip into the zone. Ridgefield can't really generate offense. They get the puck down onto the Darien zone. They get that puck down to the Darien zone. It only lasts just a few seconds before Darien gets in between one of their passing lanes and turns the puck up the other way.
Darien won the Ridgefield won the second period shot contest 8-6. Ridgefield now leading the shot total 16-15 as of the end of the second period. Darien obviously all it took was one shot here in the third to take a 3-0 lead. Ridgefield, the Tigers got a deep hole to crawl out of.
One back by Whitaker to Gardner Ely. Up and out of play.
Dangerous shot on the bench. Interesting that Ridgefield's bench stays standing throughout the game, it looks like. I don't think I've ever seen that before in hockey.
It's very odd.
Very odd.
I think that was the case always back when we played house. I always remember standing on the bench, but
gotta show some love to house hockey. It's really been neglected in recent years.
Yes, it has.
Sad to see.
It's unfortunate numbers have dropped off significantly.
Yeah, for all you young kids out there, it's a great way to get into the game. As
Keep
Ridgefield's
playing.
on the attack.
Breakaway opportunity saved by Kreppen.
Save.
Gardner Ely prevented the puck from getting any closer.
Kreppen moving a little gingerly after that. That was a great. He just got the edge of his left blocker on that one on a breakaway by Irving.
Gardner Ely.
Forward.
Nice pass over to Tyler Rakeen. Rakeen stepping up with a wrister. It's blocked by Denkowski. Puck leaving the zone once again. Gavin White with it now. 2 Darien players on him. He decides to throw it around over to Luke Pereira. Pereira towards the middle. Nobody home. Ely out of the zone. That'll be called for an icing. Just under 10 minutes to go in the third period.
Looks like we've got a full senior line, it looks like.
Except
Elliott.
Elliott Lancaster.
Looks like no Tommy Holland tonight.
No Tommy Holland. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that's a scratch for the Wave. I didn't even see that down.
Looks like
on my sheet.
Junior,
Aiden Elders
Aiden Elders as well.
Out as well, but hasn't had too much of a big effect on Darien.
Yeah, Holland typically one of the stronger players for the Darien offense, but yeah, like you just mentioned, hasn't helped the Tigers at all. Tigers looks like no scratches to mention.
Surprised we didn't notice that until now. I was thinking to myself why Grafton Ely was doubling up on defensive lines.
Yep.
And you just mentioned that, reminded me. Tommy Holland, he's scratched for this one. Naraki, a shot saved by Ertl.
To Ertl's credit, he's faced a lot of shots tonight on net. Yes, it's 3-0, and this will definitely hurt his goals against average, but I think he's held his own in the net.
Certainly has.
Defense is not doing him any favors. So we'll do a penalty here for Ridgefield. Trying to get the number.
Darien's got their new power play one line on the ice. I believe it's Whitaker, Rakeen, Davis, as well as Charlie Schwind, who they bump back to defense for these power play opportunities. Schwind was a defenseman last season.
You just look for Schwind.
There he is with
He's
it.
a good
Shot
shooter.
saved. Rebound, and that
There it
one is in. Tyler Rakeen, the senior, scoring Darien's 4th goal of the night. That's his 8th goal on the season. Just another dagger from the Blue Wave. 11 seconds into that power play.
Was hoping it was Saw Beach, but
Rakeen, I wanted the same thing.
Great player. Looks like Ridgefield's well on its way to its 4th straight loss. If this score were to stand, Ridgefield will have been outscored 2-16 in its last 4 games. Definitely not what you want to hear as we edge closer and closer to the FCIAC and state playoffs that Ridgefield most likely will not be in. Although they are in the 1st division for the FCIAC, so they will qualify for the FCIAC tournament if we're not mistaken.
There's a possibility that Darien and Ridgefield will go at it again in the semifinals for the FCIACs.
From what I looked at, I believe it was St. Joseph's and I want to say Trumbull at the bottom of that 1st division with Ridgefield in 4th.
I believe so.
So, yeah, like you said, if Darien falls to third, although I believe that might be the spot they occupy currently, they would see each other again. I'm sure the Blue Wave, after tonight, would love to see that. Although, like we've mentioned countless times tonight, the last time they faced each other in the FCIAC, it was the Tigers that came out on top.
It was.
Just
That was
nothing.
a shocking defeat for Darien.
Although Darien did rebound in March, as they typically do. You know, Darien this year, like you said, not returning too many guys. I'd say they've met expectations.
Oh, they certainly have. I believe they've exceeded expectations, if anything, after the loss of so many players last year.
Definitely.
Darien was a team last year that had seniors all the way as far back as their fourth line in some games, and they were using them all.
Definitely. You know, I think, you know, it's always hard when you come to a season not returning many guys. I will credit the Darien leadership, the three captains, and Bobby Whitaker, Tommy Bronca, and Grafton Ely.
Here's a breakaway opportunity.
Goal there.
Shot and a goal. Gavin White.
All right, Ridgefield.
Puts the Tigers on the board, and that's a nice
life.
confidence booster. They do have life. 7:50 to go now. All it takes is one to get the offense going. We'll see if Ridgefield can continue that trend. It seems Darien's given up a few breakaways this evening, but that was the first that has really come to fruition for the Tigers.
Looks like Darien's going to start off here with their fourth forward line and their third defenseman line. That's going to be Fisher, Crody, Troy, Ely, and Waldley.
Yes, I believe Wadley is on the ice now, getting his first run of the day. Ridgefield possibly with new life. Puck down in the Darien zone. Possessed by Rigby. Nice little move from Troy. Unfortunately for him, it ends up with the Tigers. Matthew Fisher's there to intercept the pass.
Another sloppy pass for the Tigers. Really just have done a pretty terrible job the entire night, possessing the puck both in their end and in the neutral zone. Really, their only bread and butter thus far has been the dump and chase, which, although they played physical in the first and a little bit of the second period, Darien started to pick up on that and maintain the puck.
Beach passes it to Schwind. Schwind throws it in. Samame, as always, first one down. Mariska's shot deflected up and over the net. Samame and Schwind both had a piece of that one. Across to Mariska. Biolsi with a backhander against the boards.
the senior. I believe he's
getting some ice time now.
Definitely.
So we'll go all the way around and out of the zone.
Samame to the bench. Lancaster to relieve. Oh. He got reefed. And there's some extracurriculars between Schwind and Simonello. Seems to be the ringleader for the Tigers goon squad.
Nice little nifty move from Mariska. Unfortunately, he fell down.
Offsides.
That'll result in an offsides as he lost the puck just before and fell into the zone. Lancaster picked it up, brought it in. 6:08 to go in regulation. 4-1 our score, Darien. It's been pretty much all Darien up until the Gavin White goal a few moments ago.
Yeah, you know, the first period, it looked like this might be a classic Darien versus Ridgefield bout. But, you know, a second goal in the second period and then a third and fourth to come in the third is, you know, it's been all Darien. Although Ridgefield did get on the board just recently. Looks like Darien should hold this lead and go home with their 11th win of the year.
These two teams meet in the future, though. Darien will be sure to want to forget about this one and the first time they played this season. Ridgefield, Darien got the upper hand on Ridgefield last season, possibly let expectations down a little bit. And Ridgefield hit him with an uppercut, a shock, and a 1-0 victory. So I'm sure the Blue Wave will keep that loss fresh in their minds, despite it being so long ago. And if this game continues on this path, Darien will have 2 straight wins against the Tigers. Ridgefield possessing as the puck leaves the zone. Ely, quick snap to get it out. Back up the other direction. Tyler Rakeen Chris Davis. Davis off the boards. Now Ridgefield just moving it around behind their net. This one goes up to Gardner Ely, who throws it back in the zone. Nice short pass to Whitaker.
First line forwards out there. Whitaker tossed into the boards.
Bronco goes out to get it. Off the glass to Chris Davis behind. Davis. Bronco. Finally, Ridgefield gets it back. Can't get it out of the zone quite yet, though. Darien keeping it in again. Here's Chris Davis. He's got a goal over to Whitaker. Bobby Whitaker making a move for the middle.
That's got to be it.
Gardner goes down. Skating in.
Got a chance. They got one. They got a 2-on-2 with Darien players trailing. That's going to be blocked once again for the Wave. Whitaker.
White was looking for his second. Bobby Whitaker shut him down. White again. Bobby Whitaker. Deflection. Chris Davis, first line exits. Mariska Samame Schwinn back on for the Wave. Now Tarrant and Beach.
We got Saw Beach out there.
Defensively for Darien.
Still looking for that ominous first goal.
It'll be an incredible moment when it happens. And I do say when, not if.
That's fair. That's fair.
It will happen.
Hopefully in overtime sometime in March.
But that would be quite a way to score it. It'd be a state championship overtime if it gets that far. Here's a shot blocked by Beach. Rebound. Pass went wide. Schwind chipped up and out of the zone.
Attack. Schwind looking for the cross. It's going to be intercepted by Rigby.
Lee Crody there. Almost getting sandwiched. Yep.
Darren's going to get a change. Matthew Fisher, the senior, got to hop on for forwards.
Bielsi goes back for it. He'll move it over. Grafton Ely. Up the opposite direction off the skate of Elliott Lancaster. Found a Ridgefield player, and Lancaster got it back. Lancaster tried to go off the boards and then avoid. I believe that was Alex Irving. Irving had a different idea and cut him off. Ely skating up.
Ely trying to beat a man.
Ely would love a goal after his missed opportunity off the post earlier tonight.
He'll be thinking about that one tonight.
A little back and forth in the Ridgefield zone. Puck exits. Ely loses it for a second.
Lancaster playing pitch and catch.
Jonathan Araki, a chance. He's got one.
Looks like Darien's maintained similar lines.
Araki, a backhand wide of the net.
Minute 45 remaining. Ridgefield's going to dump it down, and that'll be another ice.
Quick icing call, and if Ridgefield had any hopes of getting anything started, icing is not the way to do it.
Yeah, it'll be tough now. Looks like Ridgefield's going to head. Going to play Hamden at home on Saturday. That'll be a night game for the Tigers. Looking to finish their season with a win.
Darien will come out with a win on this one, cutting off their one-game losing streak against New Canaan. Darien extending Ridgefield's losing streak now to 4 games, and they've lost now to Prep, New Canaan, Fairfield Co-op, and Darien will be the 4th straight with that.
Yeah, it's looking like it'll be a rough. It'll be an early exit for the Tigers in the FCIAC tournament. Although last year, people thought the same thing. They made it to the championship game. So, that'll be an interesting storyline to follow. But definitely a lopsided affair tonight. The Wave pretty much dominated in all facets of the game. Big night from Quinn Creppin. Faced probably around 20 shots now. Only let in 1 fly.
Just 1 allowed, yep.
So it'll be interesting to see who Coach Bud decides to go with in the next game, if he'll keep this rotation. But if I had anything to say about it, I'd say he's definitely got to select a goalie before the FCIAC and state playoffs. You really don't want to be alternating. You want to let someone build the confidence necessary to play playoff hockey, and I just really don't see rotation really paying off that much for them, especially since they're both juniors at the end of the day.
Pereira's shot gets deflected up and out of play, and he wants to be able to grow both of the juniors because they've both got a year left in them, but come playoff time, you don't want to have a goalie who's cold and going every other game like that.
Yeah, Darien, now it's been 6 years since they won a state championship. That 2015 win and the 2016 win. They got a taste of it last year before it was snatched away by the Green Knights of Notre Dame West Haven.
So close as
we got a senior down.
Looks like Grafton Ely down on the ice.
Was he holding his neck?
Might have taken a stick up, hit his neck.
Looks all right, Carlos. Get him to the bench.
On his feet quickly. It's good to see. Seems to be in a bit of pain.
Got Asa Beach out on the ice, coupled with James Schwind.
Charlie Schwind.
Charlie Schwind.
Bielsi on as well. Mariska Samame. Minute to play. Samame hustling up. Samame high shot. Blocker save.
There he is. Going for that. Trying to dig out the puck in tough situations as Ridgefield now in the attack. Perhaps their last gasp.
They want a late game strike. Instead, they'll get an offsides call. 44.6 to go. Regulation. Darien will finish on top in this game. That is just about definite at this point.
Yeah, Coach Bud's got to be happy with how the boys responded after Saturday's really, I would like to say terrible performance against
terrible
the Rams.
The best word, I think.
They tied the Rams earlier in the year, and they felt confident going to that one. And for a lot of teams, though, that type of loss, especially against a rivalry team, would deflate a team's confidence. And they really stepped up tonight against a team that has had their number in past years. Like we mentioned, they might see him again in the FCIAC, and hopefully they can get it done this year. But tonight, it was all the Blue Wave.
It certainly was. The Tigers have a lot to reflect on after this one with their game plan. It seems their game plan matched that of Darien's against New Canaan last Saturday. A lot of dump and chase, not a lot of possessing, some physicality, but at the end of the day, they were pretty much beat on all facets of the game, as you said.
Senior day win for the Wave.
Time expires 4-1. Our final score here at the Darien Ice House. A nice performance from Darien. Jake, final thoughts?
Yeah, like I previously mentioned, this was all Darien tonight. They looked, as the game progressed, they looked much more comfortable in offense, while Ridgefield really just never found their groove. Defensively, a few blunders here and there. Ridgefield had a couple of chances in the first period, but if we're going over to the Ridgefield defensive side, they really did their goalie Ertl no favors, and like you mentioned, Ridgefield's gonna have a lot to reflect on. They'll be in the FCIAC tournament, so they'll have a chance for the state playoffs, but it'll be a tough road, especially after dropping 4 straight to opponents they'll see in the playoffs.
Certainly will. That'll do it here from the Darien Ice House. Dylan DeRiso, Jake Wilson, a pleasure as always. Shout out to all of our crew. I don't have the list of names, but to everyone up here in the box, Damian Andrew as well. Thanks to them. DAF Media, of course, a joint venture, the Darien Foundation, the Darien Athletic Foundation. Thank you all for tuning in this evening, and have a wonderful evening. Wonderful night.